Even simple projects benefit from this clarity. Simple projects have a way of becoming complex without clear boundaries. You start building a basic calculator and end up trying to create a full accounting system. The PRD prevents scope creep that kills motivation by defining exactly what you're building and why. When you feel tempted to add just one more feature, you can check your PRD and ask whether that feature supports your original goals. Most of the time, it doesn't, and you can stay focused on what actually matters. Start with these 4 essential sections. Project overview explains what you're building and why it matters. Target audience describes who will use this and what problems they face. Core features lists the minimum functionality needed for the application to be useful. Success metrics defines how you'll know whether the application actually helps people. For each section, ask yourself specific questions. What problem does this solve? Who has this problem? What's the simplest way to solve it? How will you know if it's working? The answers become your PRD content. You can create the PRD with help from AI. You don't need to be an expert in product management or technical writing. Ask your AI assistant to guide you through creating a PRD for your specific project. It will ask the right questions to help you think through user needs, core features, and success criteria. This makes the process accessible even if you've never created software documentation before. The PRD becomes a living document that evolves with your project, guiding not just initial development, but ongoing improvements. As you build and test your application, you'll learn new things about your users and their needs. Update your PRD to reflect these insights. When you want to add new features, check whether they align with your target audience and success metrics. But having a solid PRD is only half the battle. The tools and frameworks you choose to implement your vision can make or break your entire project, especially when working with AI assistants. Framework selection that actually matters. Here's something that will save you weeks of frustration. The framework you choose matters more in vibe coding than traditional development. But not for the reasons you think. It's not about performance or scalability. It's about how well AI assistants understand and work with different tools. Most developers choose frameworks based on what they know or what's trending in the community. In vibe coding, that approach will sabotage your success before you write a single prompt. The AI doesn't care about your personal preferences or the latest JavaScript framework that everyone's talking about. It cares about what it was trained on, and that changes everything about how you should make these decisions. Framework selection is crucial for vibe coding success because AI models are trained on existing code. Popular frameworks with extensive documentation produce better results than obscure alternatives. Think about it this way. If an AI assistant has seen thousands of React projects, but only a handful of some new experimental framework, which one do you think it'll handle better? The AI draws from patterns it learned during training. When you choose frameworks with massive community adoption and comprehensive documentation, you're giving the AI a rich foundation to work from. When you choose something obscure or cutting edge, you're forcing the AI to guess how things should work. For web development, the most AI-friendly combinations center around established tools that have been widely adopted for years. React stands out as the clear winner for front development because AI assistants have extensive training data on React patterns, component structures, and common use cases. Pair React with standard CSS and HTML, and you'll get consistently good results. For styling, Tailwind CSS works exceptionally well with AI assistants because its utility-first approach creates predictable patterns that AI can easily understand and replicate. When you need animations or 3D graphics, Three.js provides the kind of well-documented API that AI assistants excel at implementing. Mobile app development presents different considerations, but the same principles apply. React Native offers the best AI compatibility for cross-platform development because it leverages React patterns that AI assistants already understand well. For native iOS development, Swift with UIKit produces better AI results than SwiftUI, simply because there's more training data available. Android development works best with Java or Kotlin, using traditional Android SDK patterns rather than newer architectural approaches that haven't been widely adopted yet. Here's the insider knowledge that changes how you think about framework combinations. Certain combinations work synergistically with AI assistants in ways that aren't obvious from traditional development perspectives. For example, combining React with Firebase for back-end services creates a sweet spot where AI assistants excel at both front-end component creation and back-end integration. The predictable patterns in Firebase's API design align perfectly with how AI assistants understand data flow and state management. Another powerful combination is Python with Flask for web APIs paired with vanilla JavaScript for front-end interactivity. This might seem old-fashioned compared to modern full-stack frameworks, but AI assistants handle these technologies exceptionally. The simplicity actually becomes an advantage because there are fewer edge cases and architectural decisions for the AI to navigate. When you're unsure about framework selection, your AI assistant becomes a valuable research tool. Ask it directly, what's the best framework for building a drag-and-drop interface in React? Or which Python web framework would work best for a real-time chat application? The AI will recommend frameworks based on your specific requirements and its understanding of what works well for different use cases. This approach helps you learn about different frameworks while getting practical recommendations for your current project. The biggest mistake I see vibe coders make is choosing frameworks based on personal preference rather than AI compatibility. Your favorite framework might be your worst choice for vibe coding. Maybe you love Angular because you understand its dependency injection system, but if the AI assistant struggles with Angular's complexity, your development process becomes frustrating and slow. Maybe you want to try the latest meta framework that everyone's discussing, but if there's limited training data available, you'll spend more time debugging AI-generated code than building features. Let me show you how the same project requirements produce vastly different results with different framework choices. Imagine building an SEO analysis tool that examines web page tags and provides visual feedback. Using React with standard web APIs, the AI assistant quickly generates clean component structures, proper state management, and effective data parsing logic. The same project, built with a newer, less common framework, requires constant correction and produces inconsistent code quality. The difference isn't subtle. It's the difference between a working application and a collection of broken components. Here's a practical decision matrix for choosing frameworks based on your project type. For beginners building web applications, React plus CSS plus vanilla JavaScript provides the smoothest AI collaboration experience. For intermediate developers who need mobile apps, React Native offers the best balance of AI support and cross-platform capability. For advanced users building complex systems, established enterprise frameworks like Spring Boot for Java or Django for Python provide robust AI compatibility with sophisticated features. You can now make informed framework decisions that accelerate your development process rather than creating unnecessary obstacles. Choose frameworks based on AI compatibility, not personal preference or industry trends.